Hi, my name is William Vetter. I am an assistant product manager within the exclusive vehicles group here at Mercedes-Benz USA. And I'm responsible for AMG. And today I'm getting the opportunity in which to talk to you about the all-new ML63. AMG is our in-house performance brand. AMG started back in the 60s. In fact, it's the 45th year of AMG. And it started back in the 60s with a number of Mercedes-Benz engineers that wanted to go racing. But unfortunately, Mercedes-Benz was not racing at the time. So they took their engineering prowess and know-how and built ultimately fast vehicles that were actually quite competitive. Fast forward a number of years, and actually they became brought into the Daimler fold as well, and now that they're actually our in-house performance brand. What they do is they take all of the wonderful aspects of Mercedes-Benz vehicles and then add an even higher performance element to it. Whether that is changing suspension settings or styling or the amount of engine power and different transmission systems and everything that comes with it. It's a little bit of everything. And when you look at the ML, you'll see that it's actually purpose-built. And the purpose of a vehicle such as this is for the person that wants to have that SUV utility and practicality, but also wants to have unbelievable performance and exquisite styling and a level of exclusivity that really might not be offered otherwise. They do not only aggressive styling, but it also is somewhat understated because you really kind of want to have the best of both worlds. It's nice to be flashy, but not ostentatious. One of the defining design cues of the front end actually starts with the grille. The grille's been finished in this gloss black, which actually accents the three lamellas and puts the star proudly up front, really giving it an aggressive look. As well, the entire front apron has been redesigned. So you've got these really, really aggressive lines which come together to give the vehicle a feeling of width and placement to the ground. Grille treatments here, not only aesthetically pleasing, but also fully functional. They help the engine and transmission cool, as well as actually the air intake, which is going into the turbochargers. Another neat design piece is this right here. This is actually always in contrast matte silver. Really gives a feeling of value and presence to the front end. And it ties in quite nicely with the LED daytime running lamps, which also have the same style finisher, which have actually been elongated and moved up. Again, to accent that big line that goes across the front with a big, proud look that has a feeling of stature. One of the defining features of the front end design of the ML63 is actually this fender. It's been widened by almost a full ½ inch to meet the bumper and also cover this very large 21-inch wheel. Taking a look at this 21-inch optional wheel on the ML63, you can see that it has great styling. It's a classic 5-star split spoke, finished with a nice machine polish on the face of it, but also inlaid in titanium silver, really aggressive look. Hiding behind this large wheel is even more massive rotor, 15.4 inches in size. And to be able to clamp down on that rotor is a 6-piston fixed caliper, which is also emblazoned with the AMG logo. Also standard on the ML63 is Bi-Xenon headlamps, and also they have active curve illumination. So this means that you have this high-intensity light where the headlamps actually turn with the steering wheel in order so that you can kind of see around corners, if you will. Really, also from an aesthetic standpoint, you can see that it has this really nice chrome finishers inside of the eye socket, if you will, of the headlamp, as well as the LED and fiber optic turn signals. Really sets off the feature apart, and again, that's standard for the ML63. As you walk up to the driver's side of the ML63, you're immediately greeted by the V8 bi-turbo badges, which are here on the fender. Gives a little bit of a hint to what's hiding underneath the hood. You'll see also that the mirrors are actually power folding, and those are standard, as well as keyless go, which means I can keep my keys in my pocket and simply grab the door handle to unlock the car. As we come around to the back, you'll see that the roof spoiler here actually takes this entire roof line and really accentuates it. It actually elongates it a little bit, which makes the vehicle look a bit shorter and therefore wider for a more commanding presence from the back end. Power liftgate is standard. Of course, all of the AMG badging that you would expect for the ML63. And then featuring the tail lamps as well. Not only the LED, but they're also fiber optic, which provide a really, really nice brilliance at night, along with the added safety. As we move down to the rear bumper, you can really see where the ML63 is different. Very aggressive AMG styling with these nice lines that really accentuate the rear end, make it look a lot wider and a lot more commanding. cool grille treatments, even taking the reflector and thinning it out and making it longer to really get that command appearance. So we travel a little bit further down, you'll see the same satin silver elements that you saw in the front and also in the interior of the car. And then of course it's capped off by the AMG trapezoidal twin tailpipes. And who doesn't love the AMG tailpipes? Quad trapezoids with the AMG logo embossed right on them. They're the perfect megaphone, so to speak, for the engine music which comes out of. Hiding underneath the hood is a good piece of technology known as the M157 engine. This is the V8 twin-turbo, intercooled new engine from AMG. One of the fantastic things about it is that it has not only immense power at 518 horsepower, with 516 pound-feet of torque. The power delivery of the vehicle is just amazing. It has torque from 1,700 RPM to 5,000 RPM. Those numbers are quite impressive on their own, but really what makes them more impressive is the fact that this engine is actually about 30% more efficient than the outgoing 6.3 engine, but yet it delivers more power and more torque. Sometimes it seems as though that you have to go either performance or you have to go economy, but now they no longer have to be mutually exclusive. You can kind of have your cake and eat it too, so to speak. One of the other defining technical features of this engine is actually the Eco Start-Stop system. This system actually allows you to save fuel by turning the engine off while sitting at a traffic light. So as the customer pulls up to the traffic light and comes to a stop, the engine turns off. As soon as you let your foot off the brake, the engine turns back on and off you go. One of the other features this engine does to help with fuel economy is it actually limits the amount of power that it uses for things such as power steering. So the power steering is only active when you're physically turning the steering wheel. Other systems actually run power to the steering the entire time, which uses fuel. In this particular case, it's not necessary because if you're going straight, why would you need to have power steering assistance? As well, it will actually limit the amount of oil pressure that is fed into the engine. You would think that with oil pressure you'd want as much as possible, but in all actuality, too much can actually slow the engine down internally, and that uses fuel unnecessarily. It's fitted to a 7-speed transmission. This 7-speed transmission will actually have 3 different settings, which are selectable from a button on the dashboard. All of that power and that delivery comes through Mercedes-Benz 4MATIC system, which is a permanent 4-wheel drive system. This vehicle actually biases the power a little bit different than the standard ML. This delivers 60% of the power to the rear and 40% to the front. Standard ML is 50-50. And the reason for that is because it has so much power and torque. That when you accelerate and the vehicle actually leans onto the rear tires a little bit more because the mass goes back, that 60% in the back will actually allow you to deliver more power to the ground. And really, delivering power to the ground is one of the most important things. The ML63 can actually do 0 to 60 time in about 4.7 seconds. And this engine actually has the ability in which to get the optional performance package, which will not only upgrade the horsepower and torque, but it'll actually lower that 0 to 60 time to about 4.6. With that, you also get a couple other neat features, red calipers, a higher top end at 174 miles an hour, another couple little neat features that are baked inside. So you can go take the kids to soccer practice, or you can go up to your cabin in the woods. You have that same ability, all while going through the country roads, paddle shifting your way through the 500 horsepower V8. It's really a way of delivering the best of both worlds. And at the same time, because of the technologies of AMG, having fuel economy, which is really kind of unheard of in this segment as well. Efficiency, you have performance, you have utility, all wrapped together in beautiful styling. That might seem a little strange to have an SUV that delivers performance, but again, when you invent a segment, you also have to be the leader in that. Bye.